guys, my name is Emily, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a requested video. So a while ago I put a post out on Instagram and asked you guys what you would like to see from me. One of you suggested that I talk about my favorite book to film adaptations. So that is what I am going to do today. First, maybe a controversial opinion, but The Lord of the Rings. We're not going to talk about The Hobbit. The Hobbit is definitely a better book. The movies exist. But The Lord of the Rings book to film adaptation I thought was actually really well done. While I can respect Lord of the Rings as a foundational piece of fantasy literature, it shaped the genre that we see today, it is a really, really dense read. It is a really elaborate world, which is wonderful, but not the most accessible. And I think that the movies do a really great job of taking all of this epic, awesome fantasy-ness and making it a lot more accessible to a larger audience. So we take something that you would be hard-pressed to get most people to invest in something as large and weighty as The Lord of the Rings if they were new to fantasy. But you might get them to watch the movies and then be interested in the world and then maybe go back for the books for more expansion. So I think that the movies are just really epic. They're really visually stunning. I really enjoy them. I think they still capture the essence of the books, and I think they bring in more people. That this is one of my favorite book to film adaptations. I would definitely watch the film over rereading the books because dense. Very dense. The next pair I have here is Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman. I love the book and I love the film, and I think they only serve to complement each other. So the movie is very quiet and lengthy, extended shots, slowness of summer, like the hesitancy of early sexual experience, sexual awakening. The book fills in a lot of those gaps. The book fills in a lot of the silences that Elio has when he's thinking about Oliver. And in some ways, it's nice to be removed from Elio's head. When you're watching the film, you just sort of have to watch and see that he's in some sort of quiet, reflective moment. But I do really, really like the ways in which both of these complement each other, and I think that it's a great adaptation. Like, the book is fantastic and the film is fantastic, and they serve to enrich each other. So, another favorite. So the next pairing I have here is Die Mitte der Welt by Andreas Steinhöfel. Now, this is not as direct an adaptation. There's a lot more darkness in the book. The book focuses on a lot of family traumas, a lot of life traumas, and you get a lot more of Phil's early experiences that shape him into the human who eventually hooks up with Nicholas and has a really cute first love. The movie really makes it a cute summer romance, like a first romance experience. It sort of hints at, like, things that influence the characters, darker things, but it doesn't go into them. So on the one hand, I do think it's a great adaptation in that I think it's beautifully done, it's beautifully filmed, there's enough there to get the flavor, but it's not quite as rich as the book. Reading the book, I have been shocked a couple of times by just some of the things that happen that I'm like, oh my goodness, like, this is a lot of baggage for a young person, for a family. It's definitely not what I was expecting, and that's okay. I do really enjoy the book. I do really enjoy the film. The next pairing I have here is The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris. So I really, really enjoy the filmic adaptation of The Silence of the Lambs. I think it's a very faithful adaptation. I think that it does sort of cut down on the nuance of some of the characters, but I think for the pacing of the story, I think for focusing on the most important characters, Starling and Hannibal, it does a really good job sort of picking and choosing what it needs to keep to tell the story, to tell the larger overarching narrative. I do think that the book is definitely worth checking out because it's fantastic, but I think the movie is so well done that I would probably choose to rewatch the movie over rereading the book, just because I think it does such a good job. Like, if I want to experience this story, I can go to the movie and get it a lot faster. Like, the little things, like the little bits where the characters are fleshed out, it's only like marginally adding to my experience. Like fleshing out Crawford and fleshing out Buffalo Bill only marginally adds to my experience. So it will probably be another like 10 years before I reread the book, because I read the book when I was like 9 or 10 and I've read the book now, but I will probably rewatch the movie in between when I want to re-experience the story rather than making the time investment in the book. The last book to film adaptation that I have here is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Abertale. So I love the book. I know some people have problems with it, with the catfishing aspect of it, but I love the book. It warms my heart every time to read it. It's a quick read, it's a fun read. I would honestly have a hard time choosing which to favor because I do like them both so much. I think the movie is great in, first of all, bringing a queer story to such a mainstream audience, because a couple of these stories do have queer characters, but they are not like mainstream movies in the way that Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda was, or sorry, Love, Simon. One thing with the ending that I wish they hadn't done, and I think that's maybe the fault of the director, I don't buy the kiss at the end. When you watch the kiss at the end, that is the best take that they got. It is not a sexy, desirous kiss. And I feel like it should be, because these two young people have finally come together, they finally found each other, and this is an exciting moment. They're kissing each other. That's the only downside. The book is significantly better because I get to picture that kiss in my head instead of seeing that kiss on screen. I love the soundtrack for Simon. Like, I love the sort of like weird, quirky, sort of surreal moments, like the dance sequence and all of the straight kids coming out to their parents, and like the parents having like, over-the-top emotional reactions to their children coming out as straight to them. I think those were really cute. Like, overall, I think it's really well done and I really enjoyed it. Not that I'm totally uncritical of it, but I still really enjoy it, and I bought it. I bought it. I'm going back to it. I was excited for this. I'm still excited about it. I'm happy it exists. So those are some of my favorite book to film adaptations. Obviously, I stuck to book to film, but I do think that with the whole HBO, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix picking up books and turning them into TV series, I do really, really like that. That could be a whole separate video if you're interested. So let me know some of your favorite book to film adaptations in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!